What the hell was that?
I have no idea.
Right? Fun game, though.
Yeah, if you consider chest pain fun.
I do.
Yeah, same.
Hey, weren't you supposed to be bad this year?
Yeah. You too, right?
No. Okay, yeah, but you're actually pretty good this year.
Thanks, man.
You gonna say it back?
No.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team, that is a dub.
It was great. It was not great. Oh my goodness. To get 2 points out of that effort, let's just say it's not going to happen very often. Let's say that. This was not what I would consider a full 60. It wasn't what I'd consider a winning effort. It wasn't even what I'd consider good hockey. It was super fun. It was a really fun, exhilarating, painful game to watch. It was really fun. It was not a game where the coach goes into the video room and starts pointing out stuff, because he's basically like, hey, just watch the whole game, and if you can't figure out what you did wrong, then you shouldn't be in the NHL. Holy shit. It was so bad in moments. My goodness. My goodness. We didn't deserve to score 4 goals in regulation. We didn't. But we did. We didn't deserve a bunch of the saves that we got. But hey, Olmark's part of the team. That's why we built from the net out. Oh, boy. I'm sorry. I'm like catching up with all of my emotions. And I'm not trying to be critical of the team. I mean, I'm literally being critical of the team. But I'm not trying to be like a dick about it. Because this is hockey. There are games like this where things aren't clicking anywhere for either team, really. I mean, the Islanders way outplayed us for the majority of this game, especially 5-on-5. But you have those nights where you go, did we deserve that win? Probably not. Did we win? Yes, sir. We did. They don't ask how, they ask how many. Unfortunately, we do live in a landscape where we ask how quite often through the regular season because we want to predict the playoffs and everything. I cannot stress how important it is that we just continue to bank points. This team's going through a little bit of a struggle right now. We're going to get there, but we're banking points. I want to make the playoffs this year. We look like we're primed to do so. That's the first step. Let's talk about liking, commenting, subscribing. Nailed it. Let's talk about this Islanders team. What the fuck are they? Are they good? Tell me right now. Are they good? Say it out loud. Are you sure about that? I don't give a shit what your answer actually was because I know you're not sure about it. If you said yes, you are tentatively saying yes. So they're second in the Metro. They've got to at least be decent. Sure. If you said no, confidently, you look at the record and go, I mean, okay. I don't know what the Islanders are. They have points in now 14 of their last 15 games. Their best league comparable stat right now is their 9th ranked power play. From there, it's a 30th ranked penalty kill, which got worse in this game, I'm sure. 15th ranked defense by goals allowed average, and 17th ranked offense by goals scored average. Yet they sit at second in the Metro. And you, very smart, beautiful people, sexy people, you're just... You would probably say, hey, what about their goaltending? They have arguably the best goaltender in the world right now. And you're so smart for saying that. You're so smart. But the problem is, Sorokin hasn't exactly been his usual self. 914 save percentage through 18 games played before this one. That doesn't exactly point to him stealing a lot of games, even though it's well above league average. It doesn't really tell the tale. And Varlamov has actually been better, a 921 save percentage through 10 games for him. That answers a little bit of it. That's still really good goaltending that they're getting. It just doesn't explain why they would be, second in their division with that and all the other stats I just listed. And then you look at the actual standings, where before this game they were 14-7-7, which is a fine record. Until you realize that if you're going raw wins and losses, they're 14-14. They're just getting a lot of loser points, which are points. You're taking it to overtime and shootouts. They can't hold a lead in the third, which was talked about ad nauseum in this one. They've blown lead after lead. I don't know how many blown leads they've had, but it's a lot. That'd be fun to look up, actually. But they're basically 500 team. They just tend to lose more of them after regulation. 5 of those 14 wins are against teams currently in playoff position. 2 of those wins are in regulation. If you want to nerd out for a moment, too, I'm spending too much time on this Islanders team, but I had fun looking at this instead of working today. If you want to nerd out for a moment, the analytics really do show a bottom 5 team in expected goal share. Like, literally, their expected goal share for, during their games, are they expected to outscore their opponents just by shot quality creation versus shot quality given up? A bottom 5 team. That stat isn't perfect, but it does tend to even itself out eventually. The underlying numbers across the board for that team don't show a bottom 5 team all the way, but they certainly don't show a playoff team. And yet here they are. But that's hockey. And for what it's worth, you're not going to like this. The Bruins are at least similar. Our underlying numbers show a team that should be, 14th in the league. If you look through all of them, there's some high shooting percentages on the team, Coyle. There's not some great line combinations that continuously get outplayed but just tend to bury more than the other squad, usually when Pasternak's on it. Those numbers obviously can get skewed by superstar talent that are going to outperform that kind of analytics all the time. But there's a lot of numbers saying, hey, the Bruins aren't a number 1 in the East kind of team. None of us think they are. None of us actually think we belong as the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. Now, hopefully we end the season that way. But right now, I think we can all agree, no, we have great goaltending. We're going to lose some frustrating games. Offense should be middling, which it mostly has been. And the defense should be strong when healthy, which when healthy, it has been. I don't know. There's some similarities in overperforming, but our record is A, better, obviously, and B, based off of a very specific play style that we like to play, and we don't get caved nearly as much as them. And I know we hate the whole end of third period stuff that happens, but we don't blow leads constantly. Not like they do, at least. Hopefully that remains true. God, please. On our end, Forbort remains out, of course, because he's on the injured reserve. McAvoy and Zacha have retroactively been placed on the IR as well. What that means, for those of you who don't know, is when a player gets injured, the IR, the injured reserve, has a minimum amount of time you have to spend on it before it can be reactivated. Now, McAvoy and Zacha, they both went down earlier. They've missed a couple games. And so we have actually now placed them on injured reserve officially, which means there's a certain amount of cap room that we gain back from it. It's kind of complicated how all that works. But McAvoy technically could have played tomorrow, I believe. He's not going to, I'm sure. Zacha can't play till Tuesday. But it's not like they have to start that time period now and they'll still be missing for another week and a half. It's not how that works. They are retroactively put on the IR from the day they got injured. Either way, they're still out, which sucks. Marchand, Coyle, DeBrusque is your top line. Heinen, Geeky, Pasternak, JVR, Freddie, Boquist. Why are we splitting up Coyle and Freddie again? I thought we learned our lesson about this. I really did. Lauko, Beecher, Steen, Lindholm, Shaddy, Grizz, Carlo, Lohrei, Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon gets the call up. Again, good for him. I like that they're giving him these chances. Olmark's in net. I know there's a lot of conversation that you want to have about why Merkulov hasn't been called up, or Farinacci, which is more surprising to me that Farinacci hasn't been called up. Lysell. I don't want to get too into it because the video will turn into a 40-minute video. But if there was a longer runway for these injuries, I guarantee you one of those guys would have gotten called up. If it's just a 2-game stint, you're better off leaving those guys in a rhythm right now. That's kind of all I'm going to say about it. Patra is scratched, which again was by design. I haven't heard Monty say that, but it seems pretty clear to me that he's not going to be involved in back-to-backs as much. I think they're seeing the weight of a professional season start to get to him, and I think that Monty's picking his spots. And we're going to get into that a little bit later on. But honestly, him sitting this game, I believe it's Monty trying to protect him. He's trying to have him be fresh for the games to build confidence. I don't think this is like a, hey, you suck, you're on the 9th floor. This is more of a, you're 19. Your body is healing at a different rate. It's dealing with things at a different rate. Let's take it easy a little bit here. There's a plan in place. Last thing before we talk about this game. There is a little concern in the air because since our 9-0-1 start, we are 9-5-3, not counting this game. Which 9-5-3 is basically 500 hockey. So there's people that are pointing that out and getting concerned. I'm totally with that. Totally get it. None of us thought we were a 9-0-1 team. No one thought that. But we are going through some adversity right now. It's important. It's the first third of the season. That's totally fine. This is a reasonable time to be going through this stuff, especially with the injuries. So don't let it kind of ruin the games for you and start over-analyzing the team right now and telling everybody what they will or won't do in the playoffs. We're still so early. We still have a lot of growth to go, and the team's going to go through some changes. It is. But let's talk about this game, shall we? Puck drops! First period is not a lot. It's not a lot. There's some back and forth, but it's mostly, other than the first 5 minutes, which is a little even, it's mostly the Islanders pooping on us. We just don't have the legs. It was shocking to see this team just not prepared for puck drop, or really just to keep it going. Odd first. 6:35 left of the period. Boquist is going to go for hooking. It's an all-time bad call. It won't even be the worst one in this game. Oh my goodness. During the penalty kill, though, Heinen gets a great chance off of an awful Dobson turnover as he basically leaves the puck in the slot and skates away in miscommunication between the defensemen. Heinen jumps on it and misses high and wide from the slot. All the time in the world. Yeah. No shots allowed on that penalty kill technically, but there were some scary moments as the puck sat in front of our net with flailing bodies and sticks and managed to stay out. The first period was a warning of how many times that was going to happen throughout the rest of the game. This was Panic City for like the whole game. We're going to move on to the second period. 1:42 in. Geeky's line has been stuck in our zone. And they finally manage a breakout. And they get to the neutral zone, and Geeky sees Pasta on the right side getting behind the defense, and he tries to just softly lift it. It goes a little too far in front of Pasta. He can't catch up. There's no gas left in the tank. I don't hate this play. I hate the play under the circumstances. You guys are gassed. It's so clear. Turns into an icing because he misses the pass. I don't think Pasta would have even been able to make a breakaway out of this because he was so tired. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's an icing call. We're in our zone. We lose the faceoff immediately. Puck gets moved back to the left point for Romanov, who gets to take 2 strides in. Everyone's still on the right side of the ice. No one's got any energy. No one's moving towards him. And he just gets to pick low glove. It is 1-0 just like that. Beginning of the second. Tough. Brick and Jack pointed out a great thing, which is Islanders don't protect leads. This should not shake your confidence in winning this game. And I don't think it did. The Bruins didn't really respond, though. 7 minutes in. 4-on-2 for the Islanders, who continue to demolish us in every zone. There's a whole game. It's so fun. But Olmark manages to get across the crease to make a tough leg save. But this was the moment where you go, the wheels are kind of coming off. We're 27 minutes into this game, and Olmark has had to make highlight save after highlight save after highlight save, and there's nothing getting created on the other end. We're getting outshot 2-1 basically at this point against the Islanders. The hottest team in the East, but it's against the Islanders. Come on. 10:09 left. Steen with a hustle play to grab a loose puck in the right circle. He tries to cut in front of Sorokin. Aho comes in and makes contact and buries Steen into Sorokin. I mean, it was tough. Everyone's fine. The Coliseum, it's not the Coliseum anymore. But they're going nuts. It was so clearly not a penalty on Steen, who got shoved into Sorokin. Either way, we're going to move on. There's no call in the play. Everyone's fine. 8:50 left. Bruins just keep losing battles. And this time, on the right boards, 2 Bruins, left on the wall as the Islanders skate away with it. Literally skate away from the pile with it. It was a quick pass to Romanov at the left point again. He's going to step in. He's going to bury this one high glove again. But it is clearly goaltender interference as Fasching was tripping over Olmark's leg at the same time that shot was taken. They wave it off. We are going to move on. Still 1-0. And then about 2 minutes later, the suspect depth defensemen continue to rear their ugly heads at moments. And as much as Shattenkirk actually played a brilliant role in a couple goals here later in the game, this was a tough one. A rush chance gets broken up, and Boquist goes behind the net chasing the puck. He is going to turn and spin and fire this right back into the slot. It gets deflected and goes moonshot up above, and looks like it's going to land in the high slot. And Shattenkirk pursues that. And it bounces right over his stick. And he's left behind on a 2-on-1 that ends up basically being a breakaway for Holmstrom. I don't know why I want to say Holmgren all the time. Holmstrom, and he gets it on Olmark, quickly moves it to his forehand and tucks it past the blocker side pad. And it's 2-0. Just like that. I don't mind the chances on pinching every now and again, but on a bouncing puck like that, you're a veteran. No veteran savvy whatsoever. Just goes right at it, bounces past him, leaves his co-defenseman out to dry. 6:28 left. Gauthier for tripping. Going to the power play. Right after their goal, basically. Need something here. And they do make it happen. About a minute and a half into this one, and it's a neutral zone turnover that leads to another 2-on-1 for the Islanders. Yeah, you thought I was going to talk about the Bruins doing stuff. No, absolutely not. Islanders get in. The shot is taken after the pass across the crease, and Olmark's there to make the save, but the puck bounces directly out into the slot, and Holmstrom is there alone. And this is the picture. And Olmark manages to get a toe on it and make the save. Puck bounces back forward. We're going to break the other way on the power play still. We get set up, and then it's just great triangle movement. It's Marchand in that right circle, down to JVR, who's in that bumper position right next to Sorokin, and he's going to one-touch it up to Geeky, who's alone in the slot. He's got bodies around him, but when the puck moves this fast, he gets a chance to one-time this blocker side. Goal. 2-1, power play goal. 3:25 left. The Islanders with a bonehead too many men because they played the puck to the guy that was switching. It didn't make any sense. Either way, we're going to go to the power play, and we keep the puck in the zone. It is looking like a broken play 6 times over. But Shattenkirk manages to keep the puck in on the blue line, circles down the zone. He's on the right side, flying through that right circle, and he sees Pasta across the slot. He whips it over. Pasta in his office, hammers this on net, beats Sorokin, and just like that, it's 2-2. Another power play goal. We're going to end the period that way. We're going into the third period tied after an effort that just wasn't there at all. The whole game. This is your chance to steal this one. Win the third period, you win the game. And you come out in the third, and you look like shit again. I just don't understand what was going through the boys' heads in this one, and they better be ready for tomorrow because it's a much different matchup tomorrow. Either way, 3:15 in to the third period. It's a breakout pass to Cizikas for a potential breakaway. Shattenkirk comes in hot, ends up upending him with his stick. They are going to call a trip, and we're going to go to the penalty kill. And it's a great kill. I refuse to say this is a bad kill. It just gets outdone by excellent passing by the Islanders, who managed to move the puck around quickly, get us to shift a little bit, and then it goes from the right point down to the circle, and then quickly over to Horvat, who's in the middle of the slot, and he hammers this low blocker, I believe. No, sorry. He pinpoints this high blocker, basically bar down skis, sniperoonie and cheese. You hate giving it to the other team, but it was. And it's going to be 3-2 power play goal. Before that goal, the Bruins had killed 22 straight penalties. Not too bad. Then the big moment, 10:21 left, and Marchand pucks in deep, wins a battle behind the net, gets in on the forecheck, wins that battle, shovels the puck up to Coyle, who's got a sharp angle underneath the right circle. Save is made. Then the puck bounces out to Grizz, who loads up, hammers it on net, hits Coyle. Coyle has to pay the price. Bounces to the glove side, and Marchand's there, and he gets tripped by Anders Lee. But as he falls, he slides into the puck, and it knocks it in. And it's a tie game. And they review it. And because Marchand made contact with the puck, with his glove, they waive it. Even though and I challenge you to watch the replay on this, he gets tripped into the puck and literally has the stick and is still holding the stick and just slides in. It's not like he even does that. He's literally just sliding into the puck and knocks it in, and they wave it. Obscenely bad. Obscenely bad. Either way, we're going to go on the power play because they're willing to admit another player disturbed that moment. You know what they could have done? They could have been, we're rewarding the goal anyway because that player had a tap in but was tripped. No. Nope. Either way, it's fine. We're going to go to the power play. And it's another board battle win, something we started to do in the third. The battle's in the left corner, and Pasta's going to be the beneficiary of it getting bumped out to him. He's going to throw it up to Shattenkirk on the left point, and he's going to take 2 strides forward, stick in the air, ready to unload it. But he doesn't. He waits and waits and waits and sees JVR sneak in blocker side towards the net, and it's a slap pass for the deflection. JVR gets it in, and that is a 3-3 power play goal. Game tied. Win this thing. Come on. Come on. 8:10 left. Coyle hooking right after we scored that goal. But guess what? He definitely hooked him. That was a good call. And 11 seconds into the power play for the Islanders, it's a face-off win. It's a shot from the high slot. It misses the net. And it's a perfect bounce back to Nelson, who is glove side and gets to just shovel this past Ullmark. Ullmark almost got that one too. But they go right back up in the lead, 4-3. Power play goal for them. What a lucky bounce. What a lucky bounce. You can't tell me that one was on purpose. Ugh, it was perfect. 3:09 left. I have no clue what happened. I don't get it. It's a great chance for Geeky. It was a pass across the slot. He gets it. He decides to actually hold and try to get into the slot and hammer this in. Doesn't work. Puck gets flung over to, I believe, Pasta. He's going to shoot from a sharp angle. It's going to deflect off of a defender on top of the net into the left corner. And the boys are going to battle. And Lorai's going to get there. And he's just going to turn and whip it on net. Probably aiming for the slot. But he manages to hit it off of Sorokin's back and into the net. And it's a 4-4 game tying goal by Mason fucking Lorai. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. And we're going to go into overtime with it 4-4. But not before, with 17.5 seconds left, Pasta is going to go for tripping Palmieri, who literally just fell down with no, I'm not exaggerating. At the time of him tripping, there was no physical contact going on. Refs deal with a lot of harassment, and I don't want to add to that, but this, bad. Just bad. It was bad. Overtime was the usual holy shit. We did kill off that penalty. Ullmark was incredible. Sorokin was incredible. Dances in front of the nets. Scary moments left and right. We're going to the shootout. And the shootout goes like this. Horvat, hell a lot of moves, and then boom, goes hard to the backhand, but Ullmark is there with the pad. Just coming up, chopping him up, and then boom, boom. Nothing doing. And then DeBrusk opts to go 5-hole. Doesn't do as usual, but it looks like Sorokin was staying on his feet, so I think he fooled him with that one. Save made. Barzal, same approach as Horvat, just the opposite side, and Ullmark dives with the blocker to get the save on that. And then Coyle, he's going to cruise in, quickly shifts the puck back and forth, and then just picks top glove before he gets too close. A lot of these guys are trying to get in real close and scoot around the pads. Coyle just got in tight enough, made sure that Sorokin was respecting the fact that he could deke around him, and then just went top glove. Brilliant. It's 1-0 in the shootout. Holmstrom. That was gorgeous. Look it up. Look up Holmstrom's shootout. That was the fluidity. Awesome. Puts Ullmark in a blender and then puts it backhand high. Gorgeous play. And then Pasta's going to finish it. He adopted, as we know, this glide down, hide it behind his body, and then just shoot it from a really weird angle. Buries it mid-glove. That's all he did. Just a little bit of speed, hide the release behind his body, and then glove side. You take those, shootout win. Game notes. The depth is being challenged right now and it hasn't been impressive. But getting points out of the last 2 games without McAvoy or Zaka, or even Forbort for that matter, because Mitchell and Wotherspoon are not upgrades in that regard. Huge. I don't give a shit about winning the conference. I mean, I do in the playoffs, obviously. But I don't give a shit about being the best regular season team in the conference or even the division. I care about making the playoffs this year as we kind of are in this transition. Give ourselves a chance. And right now we're doing what we need to give ourselves a chance. Because again, none of us thought we were going to lead the league all year. Right? None of us thought this team was going to be some sort of juggernaut. I think we still think of ourselves just outside of contender status. I just don't want to be struggling to get into the playoffs at the end of the year. And these points are huge. These points are huge. Other game notes, Geeky's been really good. He's just been really good. Not that he had a particularly good game. No one did. But I think he's doing everything that you could ask of a guy who's slotting in the top 6. Pretty impressed with him right now, especially after just being so... I cooked him like a week ago. And now he's really turning it around. So love to see that. Prove me wrong, big boy. Prove me wrong. Last game note. Lorai. This is going to sound like a negative, because it is. Had an awful 2 shifts late in the third before his game-tying goal. And he was still on the ice for his game-tying goal. The 2 awful shifts was him turning the puck over without pressure in the defensive zone. It was really bad. Monty stuck with him. It might be because he doesn't have a lot of options, but to me, it's saying that Monty has a plan here. It feels like we're getting upset at the different ways he's pulling the strings and we're not understanding, because that showed me he's picking his spots, and this was the spot for him to go, hey, you just fucked up twice. We're going back to you. Make a difference in this one. And he did. Sure, it was a lucky goal, but you take those, right? They don't ask how. They ask how many. Anyway, guys, that does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. It's a 30-minute video. My goodness, I apologize. Go Bees. Go Bees! Thank you for watching, but of course, we've got to give a shout out to the low-quality YouTube channel members. Need a real name for that one of these days. Starting with the top line tier, the Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Aaron Adams, Just Aaron, Darren Woodbury, Micro Sausage, Brett Arney, Pincent, Justin Barnard, and Nick Zatrullo. You guys are studs. And then we have our Stallions, Abraxion, Hailey E. Coyote, Joel, Jacob Pratt, Jason Ozzy Bruin Connolly, Tupton Detashi, Jonathan Harvey, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Doots42, and Jeremy. Absolute legends. Thank you guys so much for your support, and go Bees.